morning. Good morning. Delano Silver, owner of Monarch, um, and founder of Silver Soils, aka Soil Ninja. Today's topic is going to be about inputs and a defining definition to what those numbers mean. Those numbers on quote unquote said fertilizers actually mean. Like the 434. This is what today's discussion is going to be about. I've been noticing a bunch of editorial videos on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Toki, Pinterest, and so on. So, here's my little homework that I just did this morning to make it very simple. When you have a N, we're going to map out the NKP. We're going to start with the numeric parts of it, mathematical equation of it, for a better sense of understanding. Let's say you have an N, it starts with a 6. Then you have another product like crab meal. Its N starts with a 4. Simply add. Yes, you heard me right. Simply add that beginning number in the 4, which would be in the next product, and your next product. Downward. Not sideways. Downward. When you subtotal all of your inputs, let's say you did neem meal, crab meal, alfalfa meal, kelp meal, blood meal, bone meal, bat guano, worm castings, rock meal, commonly known as glacial rock dust. It's a meal. It has been milled down. So let's simplify and clarify that. So with all of those things I just named, that should subtotal about 9 inputs. And a better understanding of that is these guys that jumped out there did videos about super soil recipes, quote unquote. That terminology came from the big homie, Sub Cool. Shouts out, props to him. I came across that terminology about 2008 when I developed my own soil here in Lowndes, Georgia, called Hub Grow. That was currently at 100% nitrogen, 55%, that would be the P, and the K was 51. I was already at those principles with less inputs by understanding my materials. So let's get that clear. So don't jump up and say, "Oh, you using somebody else's recipe." No, I ever had my own from the beginning because I understand the materials and what each one of these things represent in characteristics. So moving forward, by the time you add up all 9 of them, that should break you down to about a 42 subtotal. Then you add up all your P. That should give you about 60. Your K should subtotal out to about 10. A little more if you're rounding up. So that's what all when you see people doing all these videos about living soils, super soils, that's basically what they're trying to get you to get you to an understanding of. Now, when they say microbe ecology or feeding the microbes within the ecology of the soil structure that you just created, just grafted, um, they want the microbes to break down those complex compounds that you just inputted and feed it to your plant microscopically. They know it ain't gonna break down in the soil just because you put it in there. You gotta have the workers, which would be the worms and everything else that actually build soil. I'm a humble learner from the worm. All of my methodologies came from actually studying the worms that was inside of peanut hulls. Facts. So understanding how to, and my next understanding came from actually working at a feed mill up at Brown Implement, understanding to put together the compounds that actually feed livestock and animals. hmm Then I started raising my own worms, understanding how to develop the feed for them without going into cost buying feed for them, breaking it down to where they can consume it at a fast rate to bulk up and have fat worms in a short period of time. So working hard and dedicated to what I was doing actually got me to where I am. Mhm. I mean, I think that touches, brings that topic up to a close. For furthermore, I mean, I'm doing compost class where I'm only going to be teaching like 9 people at a time. Don't want to overcrowd people. Teach them how to make all of their inputs from scratch. Now those that program is going to be about $600, $650 per person. Then we're going to touch on another subject on actually plant division and cloning. There's going to be a cloning program included in that. It's going to be about a 3-week course. You can get to work with me for 3 weeks. You want to go into the heavier subjects and heavier topics and broaden your scope from me, from my perspective and my philosophy. Um, that's something we can work out on the next course. But from this point on, I have to do what's vital for my business and the growth of my business. So, Delano Silver from Monarch Soils, signing off. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe.